thought, the word, the action, even the movement of the hand is all propelled by that power. There is nothing for the sense of individuality to take credit of. It will not be there. It is always blissful and conscious. So in that case, others name it as self-effacement or humility. This is what we feel.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, it is clear. Yes, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
No.
Thank you. Yes.
Today, while we were driving from ashram to Mysore, the question came up as to what should we do to become aware, to progress spiritually. Is there any one capsule method? Suppose we take that capsule, immediately we get the result. It's a very pertinent question. But then there cannot be any capsule, because for all other purposes, suppose we set up a target we should attain and we strive our level best, put in our efforts and then succeed. This is the language which we know right from our young age. Parents or elders ask us to study well, and they feel that we should score 90 plus, 90 plus, 90 plus. And then we put in our efforts, and then we get this 90 plus. We try for an employment. We try to pass through that interview. Before that, we mentally try to go through the whole process again and again and again. And when we bring out the best in us, we are selected. So like that, in every thing that we have done, what we have learned is that we put in our efforts and then we get the result. So similarly, the question was, what is the effort we have to put in to scale the heights in spirituality? Here the problem is, there is nothing to be gained. We have only to realize. So that is why the same norm cannot be applied here. There are efforts. What is that effort? The effort is to know that he is behind this very effort. Otherwise, there is no other effort. So even these words are now coming because of his will. That is the truth. So we have to realize this truth, that's all. How do we do that? Each one has to devise one's own method. Because whatever we have heard from masters and scriptures, to a very great extent, we were all trying. Not that we were not trying. We do, in our case, we do Ram Nam, we enjoy Ram Nam. We do bhajan, we enjoy bhajan. We try to hear some of the words of wisdom of Papa or any Mahatma. We enjoy it. We try to lead a simple life. Though we may not be able to embrace the whole world, whatever little is possible, we are trying to help. All these things are there. But in spite of that, why we are not progressing? Why we are feeling that we are not progressing? Because we have not brought him into the picture, that's all. All the prerequisites have been done beautifully well so far. We reverentially remember, worship our Master, We have great faith in all the deities, in all masters. Whenever we go to any place, we go to the nearby temple, any famous temple, we go there. We offer our worship. We get some joy, inexplicable joy. Everything is there. But what is missing is, I am doing it, that is there. We have not still brought God into the picture. We are leading a simple life. God has made us to lead a simple life. We enjoy bhajan. God is facilitating us to enjoy the bhajan. We enjoy Ram Nam. God has been kind enough to instill that devotional fervor, feeling while chanting. We enjoy reading Papa's words or any Mahatma's words. God is facilitating me to go through the words of wisdom of our masters. God helped us to go to various Punya Tirthas. God helped us to have the darshan of Mahatmas, darshan of deities who were worshipped by Bhaktottamas. See the difference? We are trying to bring him into the picture. That is the only thing we have been asked to do. Beloved Papa says, behold divinity in every aspect of this world Leela. Verily, it is He at play in all beings and creatures. All of us have heard this many a times. But are we in a position to bring this? So even while chanting Ram Nam, even while doing bhajan, can we try now to bring in this dimension? Now we have been blessed to have this Google Meet. We are sitting somewhere, you are all sitting in different places. But see the wonderful way in which He is now making us to connect ourselves. It is not within our individual capacity to do it. He made this facility available, Google Meet, through some of His instruments, and He made us to know about it, and He made us to get connected with it. So every time, suppose we repeat, glory to Him for facilitating everything. Glory to Him for providing every opportunity for us. Then, we are trying to bring in the dimension, God dimension behind all our activities. It is difficult for us, agreed, because that sort of, even though we have been attending lectures, we have been hearing, we have not yet applied this dimension in our very act, every act. In our Arati time, when we read Omkarji Maharaj's adorable presence prayer, we say that, now and here, eye of the eye, heart, ear of the ear, heart of the heart, mind of our mind, so breath of our breath, soul of our souls. Dear God, make me to become aware of Thy presence now and here. Let us all try to know, to delve deep into this. How am I to know this now and here? Puja Mataji had asked us to repeat this every day so that one day we will take it seriously. It is not during Ram Nam session alone. It is not during bhajan session alone. It is not during flower offering session alone. It is not during any other session. Now and here. now and here, now and here. Though it may be difficult for us because we have not trained our mind, the sense of individuality has been projecting itself, Even a small opportunity, it will come out. And when the sense of individuality gets projected, naturally, the indwelling reality is withdrawing, We are not aware of the role of the indwelling reality. So that is why we find it difficult. So probably we can try, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in any of our dealing. Whenever we get a pause moment, we can try. He is making the lid to be put on the glass. He is making the glass to be filled with water. After that, we will forget, doesn't matter. But we have made a beginning, And now, then try to remember Puja Mataji's words. This is also Papa, this is also Papa, that is also Papa. Like that, when Mataji was telling, she was demonstrating before us, this is how you initiate the process of identifying the God element, the God dimension behind even a small, apparently small, transparently small act. When he made us to cough, he made Lalidamma to get up, pour water in the glass, and then put a lid. Normally, we take it that so and so has done it. So and so has coughed. So here now we make an attempt. He made us to cough. He made Lalidamma to bring water. And he saw to it that the water was already there. And the water bottle was also there. And a glass was provided. 2-3 minutes you can try this, So that we are making a beginning. This is the crucial part in our sadhana. We have been thinking that by doing Ramnam, by doing bhajan, by going to ashram, by doing satsang, by going through his words, one day we will become one with him. This was our impression, We have tried for 20, 30 years, 40 years. And we find we have not been sufficiently progressing on this line. So now we are trying another method. Whichever suits to somebody, they can try. This is what he made us to now share with you. Every moment we have to reach that. But at the moment, we may not be able to bring this. At least in 1 or 2 or 3 or simple acts, we try this. Nobody need know about it. It is purely an inner dialogue between us and him. Instead of becoming the owner of that particular thought or word or deed, we are slowly trying to bring. He made us. But from the small acts, one of the hurdles that we are facing, we have trained our mind that when we are in the puja room, when we are on a session, we feel we are associating with God thoughts. Initially, yes, 100% right. But later on, this association with the puja room should gradually, slowly make me understand that he is not only in puja room, he is everywhere. Whether I go to the washroom, whether I sit before the dining table, whether I wash the vessels, whether I cook, whether I greet a person, whether I serve anybody, At all moments, He has been with me. He has been with me. He is with me. He has been with me. He is with me. Because the discussion came because it all started with constant remembrance. How are we to get this constant remembrance? There is no Ottamuni, there is no one what you call uh, medicine or a clue to achieve this. Why, it is not an outside reality. It is an indwelling reality whose presence we don't know, we are trying to know. That fact also we have forgotten. In our earnestness to feel His presence, unknowingly we have placed Him in our puja room, in the image, in a particular place, in a particular session. Initially, yes, it is necessary. I may not be able to think of Him when I am doing any other work. So when I go to, after my bath, when I go to the puja room, that is the beginning. In all my activities, I may not remember, but somebody says, today is your Ramnam, immediately we, yes. So initially, all those things are 100% valid. But ultimately, it should make me to know that He is not only in puja room or ashram or in Mahatmas or in places of worship. He is with me, He has been with me. So let us all now try this, experiment in our own way. Nobody need know about it. And then try to remind ourselves that whatever is happening not because of I planned it, not because I did the efforts. At some level it is right. But now we are trying to understand that He has facilitated everything. And Papa's that simple quotation, that will throw light on this. He said, life is the expression of Atman. Though seemingly two, they are one. Think about it. Life is the expression of Atman. So we are all now talking alive because He is there, He is there in the form of life, the power to breathe, the power to heart to beat, the power for the blood to circulate, power for the digestion, power for the breathing, and the power behind all my sense organs, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, the power behind all my 5 organs of action, the power behind my thinking, all owes its origin to what? Life. So it is not a thing that we have to get. He is with me, He has been with me. He is with me, He has been with me. He is with me, He has been with me. Many years back, we were quoting, you remember, J.P. Vaswani Maharaj's words, I am not alone, you are with me. I am not alone, you are with me. I am not alone, you are with me. He said 5 seconds out of 3,600 seconds he set apart. What was the technique? He wanted us to become aware of this person, that's all. I am not alone, you are with me. So, अकेला नहीं हूँ, आप हमारा साथ है ना. What do you call it in Hindi?
Yes, Swamiji. मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ, आप हमारे साथ हो.
So that a simple word, the whole sadhana has been given to us in a simple manner. So when Papa said life is the expression of Atman, all our spiritual practices should ultimately now zero to this, It is not that when I do a particular act, I try to remember him. Initially, yes. I am not used to it. So naturally, to me, all things are outer, outer, outer. I have to do my efforts. I have to plan the goal to be scaled. I have to gather all my resources, because at that particular moment we will not remember God. Unknowingly, unwittingly, we have been told by our elders that we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. So we have been thinking that we have to do something. If we have to get something, we have to do something. Natural. But that is not the case with spiritual progress. So Papa makes it very clear. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world, Leela. Verily, it is He at play in all beings and creatures. So the outer norms cannot be applied here. Here, deep contemplation, reflection, initially for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, when we are alone, when we can try this, we don't do any tom-tomming. See for ourselves how we feel about it. With this bhavana, when you open any text of any Mahatma, suppose you open Bhagavad Gita, we will find half a dozen times here it repeats the same thing. When Papa starts, in quest of God with Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yajana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhyukdanam Yoga Kshemam Bhavya. Now we try to understand the meaning with this background. When we try to remember him exclusively, that means the sense of individuality steps out. Then he has assured us that he will take care of our yoga and kshema. That means the onus, the responsibility, the burden of making our life a success is not on our head. Because we have handed over this to him. And the Lord assures, I will take care of your yoga and kshema. Previously, when we were reading it, it was a different interpretation. We were telling to somebody, reproducing to somebody, chanting, but we never knew that it was a direct answer to my fundamental question of spiritual progress. So today, when this dialogue took place, when we were traveling, it was a reminder, God wants us to dwell upon it, and He prompts others to bring out this. And by hearing this, let us not stop any of our usual sadhana, like chanting, Ramnam, Bhajan, Swadhyay, Satsang, because now we will know a different meaning for all these things. So even after this Ramnam session, I must be able to keep up. Even after the bhajan session, I must be able to keep up. Even after the ashram visit, I must be able to keep up. Even after reading a few words of wisdom, I must be able to keep up. So that means not limiting the dimension, God dimension, during the particular time and place. Because He is with me, He has been with me. I'm trying. He is giving us an opportunity to remember Him. So far He delayed. The reasons we don't know. Now He is slowly opening the aperture, making us to have a glimpse of that light. Somewhere we have to make a beginning, So Papa wants us, you make a beginning. Then even a casual talk will be an incentive for you to travel. And Mataji shows, even a small act of seeing an article, handling anything, she says, that is Papa, this is Papa, that is God, this is God. No? We never understood. We have repeated this, we have heard this, we used to share with others. But we never took it that this was a demonstration by Mataji as to how to lead the spiritual life throughout our waking state. Is it becoming clear?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji.
Very, very clear, Swamiji.
Self-person.
And during Satsang period, Swamiji, our mind doesn't wander anywhere at all, Swamiji. That we can understand.
So now we have to stretch it, no?
Yes, Swamiji. We will do it.
Yes, that has to continue. Yes.
He gave us, he blessed us with to have this concentration during the satsang time.
Yes.
Now we are praying to Him. Why don't you please stretch it even after the satsang time? So that the mind will not label that we can develop spirituality during satsang time, during Ramnam time, during bhajan time, during our
Non-chanting time. Yes.
So try to stretch, even if it's for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, worth it. Because every act, every thought, every word is actuated by Him. Which fact we don't know. We want to know, but we don't know. We are that, but we don't know. And that one word of Papa, life is the expression of Atman. Those seemingly two means God and life is separate, Those seemingly two, they are one. And nobody need teach us that we are now talking or we are hearing, we are seeing, all these things are possible because the life is there. That He has made us understood. So now we are replacing the word in life to God, that's all. And for that the easy mantra is, He is with me, He has been with me. Right from my seed level up to this moment, He has been with me. And He has not put any condition that I should remember Him, I should worship Him, I should honor Him, I should revere Him. Nothing. We suddenly realize not only that He is with me, He has been with me, He has not put any precondition at all. In utter, total disregard to what we have about Him, He continues to shower His blessings. With this background, suppose we go through the sessions in my ashram, especially that Ram Nam bhajan followed by Ram Nam, and then prayer, and then arati, and then Danyahu, then finally Jajyastali he manajaya maje, Tyatyastali he nijarupa tuje. That the meaning of those words become very clear now, is it not? Don't you think so? Everybody is keeping quiet.
Sure, sorry.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes, Swamiji wanted this every day to pass this test. So finally she makes us to say two things. One is that, through universal prayer, he makes us to commit. O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector, Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. These two words, entirely to thee. And last line, make me thine and thine only. You have been with me, you are with me. If that becomes a reality, ultimately, I will become one with him. Make me thine and thine only. Sujani Deva.
Sujachi Karava.
So all these things find relevance now. And the life force is made known to us by the Omkarji's prayer. Eye of the eye, that which is behind the eye, that which is behind the ear, that which is behind the breathing, that which is behind the life, that which is behind the thought. And with all these things he has given, we are praying to him for reasons known to you. You made us unaware of your presence. Now you please make me aware. Even if I am not fit enough, make me aware just now and then. Because my priorities might be dragging me away to the ephemerals. I know that's why I have not been able to remember you. Now I slowly remember. You have come out in the form of the world outside, but I see the world outside minus you. And because I don't see the world with you, naturally what happens? I become unaware of your presence. Nothing wrong with the world. Therein, Papa, simple word. Very simple, uncomplicated. Not a high-sounding word. He said, the world as world is unreal. The world as God is real. Very tall order for us, but we will try to assimilate the theme behind it. Absorb the word. So even when the mind goes out, naturally I forget him. When my sense organs go to the different sense objects and indulge in that, I forget him. But suppose now I start thinking that the outer, all the sense objects are also his expression. At least in 1 or 2 every day. When I taste payasam, naturally I enjoy, the sweetness of sense organs. But I try to understand. Today, why payasam? Somebody wanted to give to others, on a particular occasion. That means expansiveness. And when you become expansive, it comes out in the form of a present feeling, which we call it as sweetness. Oh, so God wanted me to remind himself of his presence. So apart from enjoying the payasam, or the sweet, I also try to bring in this dimension. When I say beautiful thing, a beautiful flower, wonderful, we'll say. But now we will think, what a beautiful thing he has brought out through that flower. The color of the flower. Nowhere it is you find the drops. Only if the stem is green, for example, but only that particular flower is full of that color and the beautiful shape, the tenderness of the petals compared to the feeling you get when you handle the leaf or the stem. Similarly, we try. So now we are not blaming the sense organs. We are not blaming the sense objects. We are trying to add his presence. Suppose we say today's vada is very nice. It is spicy, it is beautiful, the sambar is beautiful. That means the spiciness has been given by him, You and I did not create chilies. You and I did not create pulses. You and I did not bring out this formula, what proportion it should come. All those things he has done it, and beautifully it has come out in the form of, today we had Bisibela bath. The concept of Bisibela bath. For a second or two, we can bring this dimension, so that the tongue will be enjoying, no doubt, but at the same time, there is an effort on the part to bring him into the picture. So now we realize the sense organs or the sense objects are not the culprits. Only when I remove him from the scene and seeing it as only as a sense object and the sense organs as independent of him, then the problem comes. I become a slave to that, meaning I forget to bring him into the picture. So these are all some of the thoughts that welled up, which we thought we should share hot. Because this is what, we had a small discussion while we were traveling. Major was bringing out this question with all his earnestness. He said, can you give some method by which, some clue by which we can, then is there any clue? Excepting to know that he is behind this clue. He is behind this very doubt. He is behind this very question.
And behind the answer too.
Huh?
And behind the answer too.
Correct. Some serious. It is for this purpose we know now, or we feel now, that Papa was resorting to solitude. Now we can see that 3:30 to 4:30 when you all assemble, there is an intense aspiration to take part in this Satsang, where all these things are beautifully brought out. Can we not apply the same thing to the rest of the period? I think we are now getting clarity why we feel disconnected during the other time. No? Unknowingly, we have identified certain activities, certain places, certain timings as associated with God thought, and rest of the things are dissociated with God thoughts. In order to keep us this thread always, Papa used the word chant Ramnam always. Again, we did not understand that. Chanting of Ramnam will keep our keep our aspiration alive, tempo alive. Even if we do Ragan Ram Nam, we hardly bring this dimension. Every now and then he facilitates us to have Akhand Ram Nam. And at that time, are we in a position to keep that Akhanda remembrance? Akhanda Ram Nam means Akhanda remembrance. So Papa suggested that was the method he used. From the Inquest of God, we understand is that even if the period ever so small, he was chanting. Even if the period ever so small. And he said, then the meditation, when meditation on Ram and chanting his name both went together. Now we are trying to understand what he meant by meditation. Previously we thought, how can it go? Because we know meditation means sitting, closing our eyes, cross-legged, vertebral column erect, concentrating on the center of our, between the eyes, between the two eyes there is a center. And so many concepts also have developed in our mind about various chakras, this and that. So meditation means we were thinking something else. Now we are slowly trying to understand by the word meditation, even while walking. The first page, second page of Inquest of God. If you have got that, you will know that. Inquest of God. The second page, if you take. Now, when we read that, now it becomes somewhat clear now. Can somebody take up and read? The second page.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji. Wait, I'll just get it a minute. By humbling ourselves to such a degree as to totally subdue our egoism.
No, not that. First chapter, second page. First chapter.
A second page.
First chapter, second page.
During the day, when cares and anxieties were visiting him due to momentary and other troubles, Ram was coming to his aid in unexpected ways. So, whenever free from worldly duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name.
That is right. That is what we want. So, whenever free from worldly duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name. You remember? This is what is, what was it meant by the word meditation? He is with me, he has been with me. He is with me, he has been with me. It was not sitting. The moment we say meditation, we have developed so many concepts. Now you kindly reread that. So whenever free from worldly duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name. Walking in the streets, he would be uttering Ram Ram. Ram was now losing attraction for the objects of the world. No taste but for Ram. Meditation of Ram continued apace. Very important word, So dwelling on, reflecting on, contemplating upon these aspects, we can take it that is what he meant by meditation. reflecting on, contemplating upon, meditating on this particular aspect is called meditation. So a meditation of Ram continued apace. It encroached upon the hours of the day and the so-called worldly duties. That means even during whenever he get any past moments, he was able to bring in this damage. That means he was not limiting to a particular place and particular act. Very, very important. In our case, we try to do this during a specified time in a specified place. Rest of the place get disconnected. Again, we will read. During the day when chaos and anxieties were besetting him due to monetary and other troubles, Ram was coming to his aid in unexpected ways. So whenever free from worldly duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name. Let us take out this particular sentence. So whenever free from worldly duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name. Walking in the streets, he would be uttering Ram Ram. Then the whole thing we are living and finally coming. No taste but for Ram. Meditation of Ram continued apace. It encroached upon the hours of the day and the so-called worldly duties. So even during the worldly duties also. It encroached upon the hours of the day. That means not limiting to a particular place and particular time. Wonderful message, Probably it would not have struck to us. He is now throwing light.
Swamiji.
Tell me.
When I went to Brahma Chaitanya Gondavlekar Maharaj, the same words were written there too. Oh. And I was reminded of the period ever so small of our Papa.
Be the period ever so small. So now let us now leave everything. Let us try to make a resolve. At least in a day, if possible, I will try to do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Wherever I am. So that the tendency of the mind to limit it to a particular time and place, it is slowly stretched, not that it is left. That also should be done. When we see the inspiring image of Papa, Mataji's, Swamiji's or Mahatma's photo, not that we should belittle, we should overlook. But let us not limit only when we see this. We have to remember him. They have made us to remember. They helped us to remember him. They helped us to know the purpose of our life. They helped us to know that he is with us, he has been with us. Suppose all these thoughts, suppose we start associating. It will not be limited to just looking at the image of the Guru in the bhajan hall or the puja room. Kindly think about this. And in the chapter end, he says, off and on he was prompted by Ram to read the teachings, okay? The young plant of bhakti in Ram was thus nurtured in the electric atmosphere created by the influence of these great men on the mind of humble Ramdas. It was at this time, kindly apply your mind on these words. It was at this time that slowly dawned upon his mind that Ram was the only reality and all else was false. Ram was the only reality. While desires for the enjoyment of worldly things were fast falling off, the consideration of the me and mine was also wearing out. The sense of possession and relationship was vanishing. All thought, all mind, all heart, all soul was concentrated on Ram, Ram covering up and absorbing everything. Ram covering up my entire thoughts, entire words, entire deeds. When are you going to make me to experience this, Papa? We have to ask him, no? You were able to do it. When are you going to give me the same feeling? While it was at this time that it slowly dawned upon his mind that Ram was the only reality and all else was false. While desires for the enjoyment of worldly things were fast falling off, consideration of me and mine was also wearing out. Some of the hallmarks, he gives us this feeling. So we can watch ourselves, whether these things are happening in us. The sense of possession and relationship was vanishing. All thought, all mind, all heart, all soul was concentrated on Ram, Ram covering up, absorbing everything.
Swamiji, these points are like a flow chart. So if you start on the first, it will take us one by one.
Correct. Flow chart. Super. So we will not now just read it out and say beautiful words. We will simultaneously pray to him to help us to make us a resolve that some, not at least 1% of what you have written should become a reality in my life. Please.
Yes, Swamiji, yes.
That is the powerful message he gave us today. Very powerful message. Anything else?
Yes, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji.
Pranam.
When everything is all right and going in a right direction, we feel that he is protecting and all. But when great difficulties come, then that time actually by his grace we should remember all this. Otherwise we feel lost. What is he doing? Why is there no help for us? So when everything is all right, really we can help, we remember him. We definitely remember him. But otherwise we feel very much lost and all. That time, in such moments, we should remember all this.
Because he is with me, he has been with me.
Yes. Yes.
So
these are very important words for us. When you are alone.
In spite of the fact that you are with me, you have been with me, why are you hiding away during my tense situation? Give me the support. Avalambanam. Make me feel that you are with me, you have been with me even during the period.
We have to be aware of his existence.
Yes. Then immediately suppose it doesn't come. Immediately remember Papa's words. Life is the expression of Atman. And I am complaining to you because there is life in me. There is life in me means there you are with me. Why don't you please make me aware?
Swamiji, I am reminded of Jayanti's last words. Please, Sermon, take care of your hand and with me.
Correct.
That's our prayer, last prayer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Swamiji, this itself is a very potent word. You are with me, you are always being with me.
Which is the truth, you know.
Yes, Swamiji.
So probably to instill or to insert or to integrate this thought with Ramnam, probably all of us can bring this word while chanting or before chanting or after chanting. You are with me, you have been with me. You are with me, you have been with me. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. You are with me, you have been with me. You, Ram, has been with me. You, Ram, has been always with me. You are with me. So insert this Ram also instead of you, so that every Ram Nam gives us this, it helps us to concretize our faith in Him. Something we can try. Okay then, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. We'll meet on day after tomorrow. We are in Mysore now. We'll be here for a few days, and from there we go to Wayanad. But Google Meet will continue by His grace. Everywhere He is facilitating. So we will try to keep up with the same tempo. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Swamiji, Swamiji is reminding about Busy Balabat through Google Meet. Busy Balabat through Google Meet.
Google Meet. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Pranam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pranam to one and all, one and all. Pranam to everybody. Hari Om.
Okay, I'll switch off.
Yes, Hari Om. Hari Om.
Pranam to all. Hari Om.
Pranam to one and all.